Bonjour, I am Claire-Marie Brisson, host and founder of the North American Francophone podcast, reporting to you live from my very comfortable couch here in Charlottesville, Virginia. Now, I'm talking to you today because there is a new fundraising campaign, but I also wanted to give you a little bit of insights into what the podcast looks like behind the scenes. So yes, it is a very comfortable couch, but it also dampens sound a little bit, and so I do a lot of recording here from my own couch. Now, it's interesting because people ask me from time to time, well, do you use professional recording equipment? Are you in a studio? How do you get the sound quality? What's going on? Well, it's actually just in my living room, which is interesting. And I spend hours editing the sound, making sure that I'm balancing the sound so that you get the best sound quality possible. And from time to time, including last episode, I'll include some things like you hear in the background right now. We have the cicadas this time of year. But yeah, this is really an effort on my own to edit the podcast, to record the podcast in my own apartment, which my apartment, I have fairly noisy neighbors. So from time to time, I have to re-record, rework a podcast episode. But yeah, it's a labor of love. It's something that I've done and something that I have founded because I wanted to connect the North American Francophone communities. And that's really driven me all of this time. When I started the podcast, I actually started thinking about it right here. I was writing my dissertation and I paused and I stopped and I said, wait a minute, who is looking at this Microsoft Word document? I am, my committee is, but nobody else from the North American Francophone world was able to access that document. Now, hopefully it will become a book at some point in the future, but right now it's just on my computer, it's on my cloud, it's shared between professors. It's not something accessible. And when I created the podcast, I was floored by how many people were reaching out to me, how many connections existed, and just what the community looked like in North America. And that continues to inspire me at this point. So, what's the fundraiser going to look like? Well, when I first made the podcast in November 2019, I was sitting here and I started drafting out a logo. I was drawing the logo myself, and that logo turned into a more professional logo that I created of the North American Francophone podcast. But I'm going to be featuring the original logo on a t-shirt through Custom Ink, and you can order that t-shirt for $25. It's going to be very similar if you ordered the Franco tote, same thing. It'll deliver directly to your house. There's no social contact, so you can do social distancing, and it's a very comfortable t-shirt. I've looked into the reviews. It looks pretty comfortable. And this will be a great way to help support the podcast because it is self-financed. I do not have any other support except for my own support, personal support as a graduate student. So I would be very, very appreciative if you helped fund the North American Francophone podcast so that future episodes can continue to be as exciting, or at least the feedback I've gotten from all of you has been fairly positive at this point. Again, $25. I will need to have 6 supporters so that they print. I will be one of the supporters, so 5 supporters at minimum to print the shirts. And then once we have 5 supporters, then anybody else who adds in a shirt, I'm very thankful for you. And I would love to see how you wear your shirt. What different parts of the world have this shirt? And if you're in Europe, for example, and you would like the shirt, I can also order that for you if you find that the shipping through Custom Ink is impossible. We'll work out details of shipping and how much that would cost, etc., etc. But be sure to send me an email if that's the case. Anyway, thank you so much for supporting the podcast. I hope you love the t-shirt design. I feel very personally attached to it because it has that history with me, and I look forward to making future episodes. I am currently finishing the summer term here at the University of Virginia. I'm about to grade my students' exams, so that's a very exciting thing. So this week I might not have as much time to dedicate to the podcast, but you will be getting more content from me next week for sure. Take care, merci beaucoup, and have a wonderful rest of your day.